morning, I think. Yeah. Yay. Okay, try again. Good morning. It's Friday, August 18th, 2023. My name is Terry Morgan. We are here to practice Wudang Qigong. We have the advanced sets this morning, sets 10 through 18. I'm going to focus just a little bit on the dynamic in the waist this morning. So we're going to pay attention to white snake sticks out its tongue, as well as a little bit the sense of raising and lowering with Leopard climbs a tree. Let's get started. I'm checking the settings over here. I've been having technical issues, and I changed a couple of things yesterday that seemed to make it all better. Fingers crossed it stays that way. All right, other thing that I am going to talk about real quick is that the Wudang Qigong book that we published back in 1999, the original, I got one over here. This one, okay. This is the original first translation. Yeah, I am. This is okay. I have two. This is Professor Liu's original publication, Wudang Qigong, published in China. He took an adaptation of this for the Chinese in this one. I have not changed his Chinese. I'm changing the pictures. I invited him to edit the Chinese if he wanted to, if he wanted to make any changes. He said, no, we're good. I have done quite a bit of editing to the English translation. There were some places that I found were exactly correct. And there were other places that, yeah, they could use a little help. Alright, so I've helped it. I have 2 more things to do, and it will be ready to go. So by Monday, I know I've been pushing this out and so forth, but it's been a challenge to get it this far and to make all of the other things happen so that I could get it this far. So we're talking about a couple more days. That's all. All right. So the other thing that goes with, as I have this book, as I get the book published, I'm going to use it for class. All right. So the English translation that we had from 99, that book has been out of print for some time. If you wanted it, you couldn't get it. I wasn't making it available. There weren't any more. Now I'm going to make it available. Now we can use it. All right? There are quite a few things that, as I've reviewed the translation, I've found to be informative, and I've also, because of what he's written and the way that it's set up, I've also had to pay more attention to the acupuncture points and the channels and the meridians. So we're going to do that as well. The third thing that goes with is the translation itself. and the gap between what I can understand in Chinese and what I'm able to represent in English. Part of it is it's not just the language, and there isn't a one for one. There are a lot of things in Chinese that I need multiple words in English just to try and get across. And there are a lot of things the other way, things that I need multiple words for in Chinese that I only need a couple words for in English. Chinese adds measure words, Chinese adds counting words. So we don't do that. English doesn't do that. I can say I have one of these books. I can also say I have a book. I don't have to add all the extra words. And you know, because I said a book, not 5 books. Right? I have 5 of these books. I have to use that kind of structure for a lot of things in Chinese. There's a measure word or a counting word that comes with. 这本书, 这本书. I also have a little bit of an accent. So, as we move into September, I'm going to add a class during the week. It's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is what I'm working with. I may still continue. I'm thinking about not having class on Monday and Tuesday. On Wednesday, a class from the book on the Chinese that we're paying attention to for the week. It may be a particular term, it may be a particular phrase, it may be something that is a challenge in how to understand what is in the book. 什么是丁？什么是一个丁字？丁字是圆的，有三角，三角钉子，什么是大钉子？知道不知道？ What's it? It's called a ding, and it's a 3-legged cauldron. It's like a very large cooking pot that has 3 legs, right? There's several very large ones that are in museums, and it's a well-known thing. It's a well-known kind of thing in China. We don't have those. We don't. So that is an issue for anyone who's trying to understand what is this? What are we talking about here? When and we're going to use this morning actually. Okay, Bai Hui at the crown of the head. Okay, as I stretch upward and reach upward through the back, and so I want to raise through the crown of the head, and I want that sense of pulling up all the way from my shoulders through the hips, through the heels, and through the center of the back here, so that everything feels well placed. That was pressed down and pulled up. Just crown of the head. In Chinese, I can say ding tao, Ding toe. Pull up through the heels, keep the shoulders down. Pull, right? That whole long litany of things that I have to talk about. In Chinese, I have to ding tao. That difference is pronounced, and I no pun intended, but there it is. That difference is pronounced when we're talking about elements of practice that are described within the cultural context. The same holds true for dance. All of the terminology from ballet is in French. There is a cultural context for all of the terminology, for what it means. Everybody who studies ballet learns that part of French. It's just, it comes with. Right now, the class may, the instructor may speak a different language, may give instructions in different terms, but the basics, plie, tendu, port-à-bras, that's stretch the arms. And it can be in different positions. Port-à-bras, let's say, in second position. All of those are recognized pretty much everywhere by anybody who practices. The Chinese is a little more difficult. There's some similarities between Chinese and French. There really are. It's a little more difficult and it's less accessible. So one of my goals is to try and make some of that a little more accessible so that the terminology that we're using can be understood, that there's, I've at least done my best to introduce that so that during practice, if I reference ding tao, that there's a possibility that you might understand what I'm talking about. I'm not going to be quite that simplistic, but that is one of the concepts that matters, because as we pull up, the Mingmen opens, the Mingmen in the lower center of the back opens, the Jiaji in the mid-back opens, the Yujin opens, the neck spine pulls up and is extended comfortably, not stiff. It's not stiff, it's comfortable. And everything can circulate up the back, right? Whether you can feel the chi flowing up the back and down the front, whether you feel the small heavenly circle or not, it feels comfortable. It feels relaxed. The blood flow is good. The spine is well placed. The energy is good. You feel it. It's not that 不是说静，只是说的就是神气的就是怎么说？I'm trying to think of, there's a Chinese word for all of the things that I'm trying to describe, and probably better words than some of what I'm using. That idea that we can think about what we're doing in another language, in another way, offers an insight that isn't there without that element. Bend the knees, wiggle the toes, wiggle fingers, open the arms, stretch up, ding tao, stretch up through the crown of the head, hand circle in front, and back around to both sides, up along the center line, and reach out. Again. Start time. Fingertips reach up, elbows drop down, wrists, hands return to your sides. All right, in white snake sticks out its tongue. We have a lot of work through the waist, right? So at the very beginning, palms up, 2 fingers, right? 1, 2, 3, hold a fist. The lower hand comes up under the elbow. Mine was a little bit late getting there. All right, and this should stay open. So, no, yes, right? This fist, not this. Okay, so all 5 fingers come together, turn over, set the wrist so that as your hand is turning, it's more about the wrist than it is the fist. Okay? I'm going to turn around for this one. Pay attention to turning through the waist. Use the waist to move the arms. Notice, I'm going to do this real quick here. Notice, and I'm going to turn just a little bit to the side so I'm going straight to the mirror. Notice that my hands don't move very much. That's pretty much it. What changes is the turn through the waist. Pay attention that your feet are well placed, that your hips are open. Keep the lower back open. It's open. Stand straight. Pull up through the crown of the head. Breathe in, palms up. And breathe out, press down. Turn to the left, palms up. Breathe in. And 1, 2, 3. Circle 1, 2. And center. Breathe in. And breathe out. Palms up. 1, 2, 3. Circle. Breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. Breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Relax through the back, relax through the waist. Turn the waist. Center. Use the waist. And center. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, relax the breath. Breathe out. Breathe in, open the back, breathe out. Breathe in, open the back, breathe out. Breathe in, and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Relax through the waist. 2 more. And breathe out. Let the breath work with the movement. Let the breath drive the movement. Last time. Hands down along both sides, pull up through the crown of the head, raise the heels and lower. Stay there, breathe in. Breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. Okay, same idea with Leopard climbs a tree as we have with White Snake sticks out its tongue, right? This twist and turn through the waist, well rooted, and we're going to do it on one leg, well rooted, with the idea that the back is open, the breath is full, and that we don't have any struggle to breathe. Okay, so however much movement there is, whatever the exertion is, it's not a struggle. It can be, it's okay, right? That partly is determined by physical condition, and it's partly determined by the extent of the movement. All right, so we have Leopard climbs a tree. And come back to center. Now, it does go all the way down. I'm not going there today. We are going to work on that a little bit. Okay, so more in terms of where to put the hip, right? So, sit up, Brandon. Yeah, that should be good. All right, as I start, I'm here. At this point, my hip is more or less over my heel. That's fine, as long as all I want to do is stay up. If I want to go down, I have to hold a little behind the hip. Right? It's harder to do, and that's what we're going to pay attention to this morning. Now, how much up and down? Yeah, I haven't quite decided on where I'm going to go yet. I know I'm not going all the way down. But that adjustment to the hip, the waist, the mid-back, the lower back, and the butt muscles right back in here. All of that has to really hold to be able to go up and down. Okay? So that's what we're going to work on. It also has to be separate, okay? So here's the hip, here's the leg. The hip and the leg have to separate so that I can go down, right? So if I'm here, that's as far as I'm going to get. Really, that's as far as I'm going to get. Look where my hip is. Nicely aligned with my feet, right? If I want to go all the way down, I have to have somewhere to go. I have to go a little bit behind. Just a little, not a lot. No, it's not here. No leaning. Right? You can't get all the way down if you're leaning. So this line moves back just a little, so that as I drop down, my weight can set behind the heel. It's the only way to get there. All right? Pay attention to that placement of the hip. Pay attention to the change in the waist as we come up. Pull this in so that leopard climbs a tree, right? Think about a big cat. This pulls in and goes out. Leopard climbs a tree. Pull this in. Sink in as you go down. Don't lean, sink in. And that difference is what sustains the up and down movement. So if you lean this way, you lean over this way, you can't sustain the body to go up and down. You're not practicing for quite a few years, but yeah, I could do this at one time. So yeah, I do know what I'm talking about. All right, so this pulls in as you go down. This holds flat. The tilt is more through the hip than a tuck into the waist, but this has to pull in to set down. All right. Pay attention to that. Pay attention, keep the hip open. Pay attention to where you put your hip. Feet about shoulder width apart. Stand straight. Relax the breath. Pull up through the crown of the head. Palms up. Breathe in. Press down. Breathe out. Breathe in. Shift onto the right. Press down. Shift over to the right. Where's your hip? And come back to center. Breathe in. And breathe out. Shift left. Press down. Up on the left. Where's your hip? Hey. Where's it? Okay, where's my foot? And come on back. Keep the hands and feet connected. So as the foot extends outward, the hand extends outward too. Don't lean. Breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Yeah, I'm looking for that spot. Breathe in, center. And breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. Center. Breathe in. Breathe out. Shift left. Press down right. Just a little tiny bit on the right toe. Breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Keep going. Use that beginning movement to set your holding leg. Right here. Don't lean. Reach for it, but don't lean. 2 more. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Last time, breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. Hands down along both sides. Pull up through the crown of the head. Raise the heels and lower. Stay there. Breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. One more. Breathe in. And breathe out. Okay, so back needs to stay straight. Mostly. This reach, yeah. But not this, right? No. This. This has to hold. Otherwise, that up and down just isn't going to happen. So this can tuck in, pull in, as you reach over, but keep this held well in place so that as you find that spot and start extending the movement up and down, you have the strength to actually go up and down. Right? That sense of balance and placement and being able to sustain over one leg and then to go down further. All right. So, and I'm gonna do this because I'm doing it wrong. All right. But just because this is the lesson, right? All right. So I'm well placed over my right leg. My left leg is up. Left leg's up out here. Okay. Left leg is up. Alright, as I start down, I get to about here, and my hip does not want to release for me to go down any further. No, I don't want to go, don't want to do that. I know why. Part of it is exactly what I'm talking about. And I'm going to be working on this, so we're going to be working on it. It's this girdle, right? The hip girdle, right here. that needs to be, for me, needs to be stronger to support my weight, which is, this is what I'm talking about this morning, right? It needs to be stronger to support my weight going up and down. It's fine up to a point. I would like to extend that point. I would. Alright, so that's one of the things that we are going to be working on. We are also, as I mentioned, we're also going to be looking at the text in the books, and I'll have some of that will be available, and some of that, yeah, I'll put it up on, so we'll have it, everybody will have it. The bulk of it, buy the book, but it, it helps support me. I need to eat. That'd be good. But so that's what we're going to work on. So I'm going to go do that. I'm going to go work on that right now. I appreciate y'all being here. I will be back next week, Thursday and Friday for sure. Wednesday, yeah, possibly. I will be back with, as soon as I have the book available, I will be back with a short to talk about that. But Thursday and Friday next week, Wudang Qigong. I hope you'll join me. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it.